Hello, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about cybersecurity vendor management. Now, this is another one of those critical aspects where we have to understand that, yes, a third-party entity may be connecting their resources with yours, and they also may have their own type of security posture. And I always suggest that they are following some form of regulation as well, too. It really matters on the aspect of understanding that when we do go to, let's say, acquire an organization or acquire a new type of solution, it may have something to do with someone that's third party, a cloud vendor, a CSP, if you will. So understanding the ways around this, you first have to assess the vulnerabilities of the actual organization. We need to identify certain security risks that may play a factor in the aspect of, is this system actually secure or not? What are some of the frameworks for our vendor risk management? Think about SOC 2, because this is going to verify that that vendor has absolutely adhered to any of the guidance around availability, confidentiality of that actual data, and the security as well too. And then being more in line with the NIST CSF, we talked about the different functions before as well, but it's going to give us the guideline for planning how to actually conduct an assessment for a vendor, and then facilitating in-house IT teams with some of the other outsourced vendors. This is a great way for us to understand how to actually securely utilize these different frameworks. Now, they're going to be onboarding as well, same as if you were a regular employee too. You're going to go through the same processes, the same due diligence, as in looking at the documentation of those reports like we just briefly talked about, incorporating different clauses within, like let's say SLAs or SOWs, and incorporating any checks as well, any background checks for the actual organization too. And then implementing what we call continuous monitoring and this risk remediation, because again, every organization will have some form of vulnerability, potentially. It's up to the other organization, the one that's working with them, to go through the process of using these different tools and understanding that, well, each vendor should have an actual score rating. What priority is this vendor in regards to security posture or that actual risk that we're taking upon when we're utilizing this vendor. So being able to handle breaches, let's say a third-party vendor, let's say potentially an HVAC organization was breached and they're part of a bigger organization like Target, which is something that actually happened. Having the communication around the aspect of, okay, this is what you do in case of is very, very important. Almost as important as offboarding securely as well. Same as onboarding. You bring people and vendors on, you should also go through the process of terminating contracts when you're finished with the actual timing of the duration of that actual position or job or service that they are going to be carrying out for you. Now, some of the regulatory compliance as well too, think about the supply chains, because not only does that actual vendor rely on other dependencies and other types of environments, you also have to build trust in these relationships as well too. It's always going to be collaborative. There's always going to be something that can be worked on. It's going to be very important to understand that there's going to be resilience. Think about software. Think about just the actual system itself. Simulate these attacks, because it's better to understand where you're at versus where you're trying to go. So putting into place these different risk tracking methods, using BitSight, for instance, to monitor live performance of all our vendors. And then a dip in this, let's say if we had a threat score for vendor A, that means we need to go back and let's remediate. Let's see additionally what we can do. Maybe we need to review some of the policies in place and see if they're still up to standards or we are adhering to that policy. Again, it's been great. Gennaro here, CEO of Cortex Solutions, and today we talked about vendor management and how to securely do that. All right, brought to you by ACSMI. I hope you have a great one. Take care.